Konami released a new Contra game, and if you're watching this video, that means you want to know, is the game worth it? Long story short, the game is a little money grab from Konami, because it costs $40, but the game itself is actually pretty good. For younger gamers who don't know what Contra is a run and gun type of video game, similar for example to Cuphead, that was originally released in 1988 for a Famicom console. Before it was on Famicom, it was an arcade game. That means you had to go to an arcade center, put a coin into a machine, and then you could play it. So why is the new Contra good and why is it bad? When it comes to graphics look pretty good. It is something now it's called 2.5D, which is 2.5 dimension, which means that you can only see from a 2D perspective, but all the environments, all the objects are made in 3D. When it comes to gameplay and mechanics, first thing I want to talk about is weapons. We have 6 weapons available, and every one of those weapons has 2 levels of firepower, normal and the upgraded one. You can get the upgraded one by picking up the same weapon twice without dying. The new mechanic they added to weapons is an overload mechanic. By holding R button, you can sacrifice the current weapon you're using and obtain a certain ability for a short period of time. For example, if you sacrifice a machine gun, you will get a shield, and if you sacrifice a laser gun, you will be able to slow down time. When it comes to characters, you start with 2, Bill and Lance. You can unlock more by progressing the story or purchasing them in perk menu for points you get after you finish levels. The total number of characters is 10. Every character has its own set of abilities, which you can also upgrade by purchasing certain perks in perk menu. Last thing when it comes to characters is that some weapons work differently on certain characters. For example, if Stanley uses machine gun, it looks completely different compared to other characters. When it comes to story, a huge plus is that every character is voice acted, which means that every line of every character in the story is read by a professional voice actor. And you as a player, you don't have to read all the text as you progress with the story. Huge minus though is that the whole story has only 9 chapters. And you as a player, you can easily finish those 9 chapters under 3 hours. And in my opinion, this is the main reason for this game to be overpriced. Because remember, we paid $40 for a story that finishes in less than 3 hours. After you finish that story, only thing you can do is arcade mode or challenge mode and try to gather enough points to unlock everything in perk menu. This is a review, so I don't want to spoil the story, but it looks like they cut the story in half, so they might release a DLC later that will continue the story, because by no means, after finishing the storyline, the story is not finished. Okay, last big plus in my opinion is that the game has motorcycles, or more of a hover bikes, like you can see on the screen, which allows you to have this sort of faster paced mission, which is by no means more difficult. It just means that you have to make your decisions faster because the weapon you just shoot down from the sky will disappear from the screen after half a second. Okay, so to sum up this review, the game is generally pretty good, both graphically and gameplay wise, but in my opinion I would say it's slightly overpriced considering how little content we are getting. Okay, that's gonna be it. Thank you for watching, and if you're interested in this game, link is in the description.